Well, hello, girls and boys. Happy Monday. I hope you had a nice, restful weekend, and I hope you got all your work done. It was sort of an easy assignment on Friday, so use your time wisely. And I just want to mention again at this point, every time you finish an assignment, please submit it right away. I was sort of overwhelmed in the beginning, but I have a system that I believe is going to work for me. So please, again, if there's some you haven't sent, go back and see if you can send that. Take your time. Not too much time because we're going to have a video every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So let's go back on something. 12A, 279. I don't know if I pointed this out last time, but I want to make sure that you have it. I had written the mixed up answers here. I hope you caught that, but if you didn't, pause your video for a moment and write those down. Then I'm going to go to 12B, which was page 282. And those mixed up answers, there's a few more of them here, is right here. So pause the video for a moment, get those down, and then we're going to continue. So I'm not showing the paper because I want you to show me your work. Again, your work must be neat, organized, and scholarly. All steps must be shown. Word problems must be labeled. So let's go back to one little thing I have here. Just want to emphasize again on number 11 that the labeling was supposed to be put on 11B and C. And just as a review real fast, it says how many classmates, then my answer would be 45 classmates. If it says how many classrooms, my answer then is going to be 13 classrooms. How many friends, then my answer is going to be how many friends. So make sure that you get that labeling correct. So on we go. Let's turn it over to our assignment number 13, which is going to be right here. And well, actually, before I start, because we're not going to be using the spiral today, everything's going to be on the packet. When you sit, did I say 12? I wrote that wrong. This should be, you're going to be submitting 13A, 13B, and 13C. So sorry about that. Again, when you submit it, make sure you're putting video 13 work-Sue or video page 285-Sue. There's 3 pages, but I just need maybe the page of the first one. So either way will work. So here we go. And let me move that. Okay, we're going to start. I'm really going to not do very many today, but I'm going to give you clues on multiple ones. Now, we will do this one. So let's start right here. And again, I should show that right away. Get those mixed up answers. Pause it real quick because I'm moving on to that first problem. And I might as well, okay, again, pause it. Then I'm going to flip it over. Oh, no, those already have the answer, so we're good. It's just this one page. So, again, go back if you didn't pause it and get those mixed up answers. So, let's start. How far did they hike before they ate lunch? Bernie and Chloe hiked the Tremont Trail from to the end and back. So, let's see what that is. Here's the Tremont Trail, and they went all the way to the end. How long was that trail? 3.5 miles. You are correct. So if they go one way, it's 3.5. And if they go back, it's another what? If you said 3.5, that is right. Now I can multiply that by 2, or because it's got halves, it's actually an easy addition. Normally, because we're doing mostly multiplication and division, but you're going to see why in just a moment. So I'm going to actually do that first. So they went one half and 1/2 is how much? Isn't that a whole? So I can wrap those up and move it over here. So far, they have gone 7 miles. Then, it says, then they hiked to Wildfield Trail to the end before stopping for lunch. So, how long is Wildflower Trail? And if you said 2 3/8, you are correct. Well, how can I get the total of these? If you said add, you are very smart. So it's going to be the 7 plus, and this actually worked out very good because if I added all three at one time, I would have had 3 1/2, 3 1/2, 2 3/8, and then I would have had to get common denominators. So this actually worked out pretty good. So I'm going to add this up, and that comes to 9 3/8 miles. So how far did they hike before lunch? 9 3/8 miles. And cross your answer off at the bottom. I'll let you find that and cross it off. Then number 24 relates to this picture. So before he ate lunch, Ricardo hiked 2 1/2 times as far as Bernie and Chloe. I don't see my answer down there. I'm going to have to check it out because I think I'm missing an answer for number 24. But it says, before he ate lunch, Ricardo hiked 2 2/3 times as far as Bernie and Chloe. How far did he hike? Well, he hiked 2 2/3, looks like, times that amount. All right, so guess what you're going to have to do? It tells you you're going to have to times it. And I will check and see if that answer is there in just a moment. All right, then this one, use multiplication to solve. You've got one of these, two of these, three of these. Guess what you're going to multiply? Let's look at 28. So 28 is, let's see, about how long is Akashi? I can't even say that. Just Akashi. How long is the Akashi Bridge? The Akashi Bridge in Japan is about 1 1/4. They really should have had the word times as long as Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And the Golden Gate Bridge is about 9,000 feet long. What do you think you need to do? If I were to say, let's see, okay. If I were to say the Akashi Bridge is 2 times as long as the Golden Gate, what would you do? If I said it was 3 times as long, what would you do? Well, that's the same thing that you do with that number, so I'm not going to go over that any more than I did. Number 25, they plan to extend Wildflower Trail 2 1/2 times its current length in the next 5 years. How long will it be at the end of 5 years? Guess what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to find the current length of Wildflower Trail in the chart above. All right, so that's pretty easy. Then on this one, how long is the Western branded Geico? So we're looking for that word, the Western branded Geico. The world's smallest Geico is 3/4 of an inch long. An adult male Western banded Geico, I might have said branded before, Western banded Geico is 7 1/3 times longer. Well, times longer than what? And if you said times the smallest one, you are right. Guess what you're going to have to do? Those are the key words that you're looking for. All right, so let me go ahead and look at, I want to double check this answer over here, make sure it is in the answer bank, so I'm going to write this down real fast. Okay, well, maybe you can work one of those problems. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this one, because this one is a little bit different. So it says, how much money did Patty spend? Patty spent 3 1/2 times as much as Sandy. Well, there's the key right there. 3 1/2 times as much as her on the shopping trip. If Sandy spent $20.50, how much did Patty spend? Well, we're going to do this one a little bit different. So I know it's going to be Patty's amount is 3 1/2 times Sandy's amount, which is $20.50. But we're going to do this a little different because I can use what they call a distributive. I can take 3 times that $20.50, and then I can take half of that $20.50. So let's do that first. What's 3 times $20.50? And work that out. Look, and move my decimal in 2 places. Okay, whoops. Okay, so 3 times that. And then let's go half of that. Well, now you should be able to do that mentally. Half of 20 is 10. Half of 50 cents is 25. We did this one a little bit different. I don't think you'll have one like this on the test, which I think has been postponed a little bit till the following week, but I'll talk about that more on Wednesday. So let's go ahead and go 7, and that's a 1 and a 7. So it looks like $7.75. So let's clean that up, cross it out on your answer bank. And it is there. All right, so let's move over 8 times. All right, then, and by the way, this answer 24, I do see it in the answer bank, so I don't need to solve it right now. So let's go ahead and go over to the next page. So this is the first thing you're going to do, put a 13A. You are going to finish everything that we didn't do. Then we're going to look at some of the problems here. All right. So how many 3/4 are in 6? Now, we did it before as a division. You could put 6 divided by 3/4. I'm looking for how many 3/4 are in that 6. It's that 6 that I'm dividing up. Or the other way is, remember we did this one before, where you would circle, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to circle 3 of them. And then grab another 1, 2, 3, circle that, and then keep doing that until you see how many groups of 3/4. This one is easy. I don't want to go over all of them because some of them you can do on your own. But very quickly, he runs 3 1/4 miles each day. Which number can be used to find n? The number of miles he runs in a week. Well, this is given to me in days. How many days are there in a week? And you are right if you said 7. So 3 1/4 one day, 3 1/4 another day, 3 1/4, 3 1/4 times, whoops, I almost said how to do it. 3 1/4 and another 3 1/4. What's a quick way to get that total? And I move on. This one is a little bit harder. So we're going to look at this. I'm not going to finish it. I just want you to maybe jot some of the little notes. By the way, here's the mixed up answers on these. These are a little bit harder because you might get 3 A's. I can't give you, like if I actually put the real answers and one of them was 8, you go, oh, there's an 8, it must be that one. You know, what if I said one of the answers is 3 and 11/13? You're going to, oh, it's right there, it must be that. So no, on these, I'm just giving the letters. If you get stuck or you get too many C's, let me know where you got the C's and I will tell you which ones are correct and which ones are not correct. So on this one, if the diameter of a tree trunk is growing 1/4 inch each year, how many years would it take? There's a couple ways you can do this actually. How many years would it take for the diameter to grow to 8 inches? Well, there's a couple ways, but I'm just going to do one. So here is a diameter, and I'm sorry, this is a circle, this is the tree trunk, and the diameter goes from one end to the other. And I know that at some point it's going to be 8 inches. So let me draw this out for you, and then you kind of guess what you need to do. So first year it grows 1/4. Each of these little marks indicates 1/4. Then it grows another 1/4 of an inch. Then it grows another 1/4 of an inch. Then it grows another 1/4 of an inch. What am I doing to that denominator? I can't talk today. What am I doing to that diameter? What do you think? I'm seeing how many 4s are in that 8. You think about it. I don't want to do all your work for you. I know you can do that. Then this one, pause anytime that you need to stop and take some notes here. So this one, I'm going to draw you a picture. So here, Monica is here. She lives 8/10 of a mile from Wally. So 8/10, not a full mile, 8/10 of a mile. Then it says, and 3, this is a little trick here, 3/4 of this distance, which is referring back to this one. So Monica lives 3/4 of this distance from Adam. So Adam is somewhere. And Monica lives 3/4 of this distance. Again, what distance is she talking about? Is that distance. 3/4 of that distance. What did we say the of meant? If you said multiply, you are correct. All right, I need to go a little faster. Pause that if you need to get that down. You must not do any work mentally. Every setup must be there. And I don't have time to keep sending work back to you, so send it correctly the first time, and I'm going to grade it as is. There's not going to be any redoing. You must make sure that you show complete work, and that is it. All right, so this one. How many servings are possible? Mrs. Webster wants to, here's a key word, divide the milk that is shown here. And how many, what does she have right now? She's got 6 pints. She's going to divide it into servings that are 2/3 of a pint. Now this of does not, well, no, it does not. This, don't, just ignore this. That just means that it's not a full pint, it's 2/3 of a pint. So how many servings are possible? Again, one serving is going to be 2/3 of a pint. Another serving is going to be 2/3 of a pint. Another serving is 2/3 of a pint. And remember, we talked about if it's division, you're going to leave what's divided up first, divided by what is not being divided up. Is that 2/3 being divided up, or is that the whole serving size? Think about that, and you set it up, please, correctly. Remember what's being divided up by what's not being divided up. What is the entire width of the window covering? She's making a window covering that has 5 sections. So I'll do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Each of which is 1 3/5. Another one is 1 3/5. And another one is 1 3/5. And so on. I'm not going to finish this. How do you think you can get the total of that very quickly? The entire width of that. I think you know. This one here, number 7. Again, pause if you need to go back and get these notes. Now, this one, I'm going to suggest to you some of these do not look alike. So be very careful. Which of the following is equal to this one? The secret to this is when you reduce first, you will immediately see the answer. If you don't, reduce first and solve it. And then do the same on your A. This one, there's no reducing. Do the same thing on your C. Do the same thing on your D and see which answer matches. That would probably be the best thing to do, is solve it, solve all of these, and see which one matches. And let's see how many more I'm going to go over. Okay. So how many did she get correct? She took a quiz containing 12 items. She got 5/6 of the items. That this time it does mean it's 5/6 of something. And how many items were there? 12. I bet you can figure it out. Of those, 5/6 of those were correct. So you should know what to do by now. Same thing here. What is the height of the brick portion? Well, it says if 2/3 of the wall, there it is, 2/3 of something. This would be a what? Multiplication. Do you know how tall the entire wall is? Well, there you go. 2/3 of that wall is made of brick. You should know what to do. 10 is self-explanatory. Solve it. Use your reducing skills. 11 is easy. I'm going to go to 15 first. 2/5 of the students in her class ride the bus to school. If there are 25 students in her class, how many ride the bus? Well, that's pretty clear. 2/5 of those students. Think about it. Set it up. No mental math will be accepted. Again, I'm not going to be sending papers back to you and saying, oh, sweet Susie, please fix this up. I'm telling you right now, show all work, the original setup, and show your work and all the steps. This one should be easy. Check plus, reduce, and then solve it. This one should be easy. Leave, change, flip. And here's the last one we're going to talk about today is which product, which multiplication shows this. Here's a hint is how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many are shaded in? Then put that number here. How many are shaded over the columns? Over to the side, how many rows are there? That would be your denominator. How many rows are striped in? That would be the numerator. So once you get those two fractions, I bet you should see the answer or multiply your two numbers together and see what you get. And I think you'll find it. All right, girls and boys, that is it for today. Again, as soon as you get your assignment in, please submit it. If you're a little bit behind, girls and boys, we need to start catching up now because we've got a long way to go, and some of you are several weeks behind, and I'll be emailing your parents because I need to get those assignments. So work hard. I know you can do it because we are. Oh, wait a second. Stretchy. Oh, this is Stretchy the ostrich. So remember that is Stretchy. I don't know. So Stretchy is here. So remember who is here. Okay, goodbye, Stretchy. All right, so again, get caught up on all assignments, get those in, because we are going to have a test, most likely after we finish these next three, and the word problems. And then we're going to have to set up a time when we can figure out how we're going to get brand new packets to everybody. All righty, you have a good, happy Monday.